I'm Laura Schwartz, and I'm here with Rob Fisher with Fisher Custom Homes. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Do you want to tell them who you are?
Sure. Like Laura said, I'm Rob Fisher. I live here in Vienna, and I'm a builder in Vienna, McLean area. I've been building houses since shortly after graduating from college. I worked in the custom home building industry early on, and then transitioned into national home builders and started my company, Fisher Custom Homes, in 2010.
What made you get into building houses?
You know, during the summers, during college, I worked for a family friend who was a custom home builder, actually here in Vienna. And after college, I did a year as a ski bum, and he wrote me and offered me a job to come to work in his office, and it was the sum total of opportunities I had. And so I did. I went to work for him in his office doing estimating, and when we got busy, I'd go out into the field, and I loved it.
It's awesome. I mean, it's been, 15 years?
Well, it's been over 40 years I've been building houses.
But 15
but it's
with Fisher.
15 since I started my company, right?
It's awesome.
Right.
It's awesome. How many houses do you build a year on average?
So our high water mark was 8, and that was too many. What we're building today, there's a much greater complexity, and we run around maybe 3 or 4 a year. Keeps us busy. We like to be really involved in them, so 3 or 4 suits us pretty well.
Well, we're standing in the basement bar area of the house he's building now, and you can see the attention to detail just in the bar. So I can see how 4 houses a year keeps you busy.
Yeah, indeed.
What's the favorite feature you've put into a house?
There's favorite, and then there's unique. I just finished a house with a tube slide that went from the kitchen down into the playhouse.
That's very cool.
In the basement, which was really cool. But you know, the screen porches I love. You know, everybody's doing screen porches now. One of my favorite early on was the heated floor in the master, which we have in this house, and I love it when I walk in with my stocking feet on. But I would say, you know, we really lean into the interior trim details. So you'll see, you know, some open beams and things like that in our houses, which I really like. So the dining room ceiling is an inverted diamond in which we use the same hardwood that's on the floor. The house also has a golf simulator. The house also has a sauna, which we're hearing a lot about the health advantages of the sauna. And we have a really unique stairwell that I think came out great.
Is there something most buyers ask you about building a house that still surprises you?
You know, I would have said no until I put a slide in a house. So, not really. There's not much that they ask me that I feel like I haven't heard before.
Okay.
The most frequent question is how long is it going to take and when will it be ready?
And how often do you think you're in the ballpark?
On how long it will take? Mm-hmm. We're pretty close. We're generally pretty close. You know, the main answer has to be the further into the process we get, the more accurate we can get with a delivery date. I will tell you that the spec houses tend to go at least a month faster than the custom builds.
Is that because you don't have someone delaying on decisions?
Yeah, it's just because I can make a decision in the field on a spec house with my project manager, Troy, and it's done. Whereas when there's clients involved and sometimes you got to bring them in, the whole process just takes longer.
Yeah, understood. That's to be expected. I guess we answered the what's the most asked question by custom build buyers. That would be the timing, right? Is there another common question you get?
You know, I get a lot of questions about financing. A lot of folks are intimidated by the prospect of construction to perm financing. And so if I can give them just a little bit of that and steer them in a direction, that really helps.
Okay, that's very helpful. Is there one piece of advice you'd want someone to know before they meet with a builder?
You know, I would say it would help if they had seen their product and if they can get some sort of sense of their reputation and the relationship with the homeowners who they've built for. If you can do that up front, I think it's really helpful.
So asking for references?
Yeah, asking for references, if possible, even before you get there. The other thing I would encourage people is, the question comes up, do I hire a builder and then an architect, or do I hire an architect and then a builder? And I have found the process goes much more smoothly if you have a builder in mind when you start the design, because the builder can help you through and over some hurdles. The builder has a better idea of what things are going to cost and so forth, versus an architect designing something cold and then you take it out to a builder.
Mm-hmm. I think there's also some things that perhaps you have experienced being in the field and seen that an architect hasn't necessarily thought through, or use of space that you might suggest to make it more useful.
Absolutely. I think it works really well when there's the symbiotic relationship between the architect and the builder and, of course, the client. I think that's where you really get the best product.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, my favorite question, why Vienna?
Well, why Vienna? So I moved to Vienna in 1987. I raised 3 kids here, and, I believe in it, right? Also, our builds, as I mentioned, there's a lot of complexity to them, so we need to get to them frequently. And as you know, in this town, if you've got a house in Springfield and you've got one here, and you got to get there, it really ties you up. And on a personal side, every morning when I get in my truck, my GPS lights up and it says work, 8 minutes, which is hard to beat.
Yep.
I'm the last one out of my houses every day. My project manager is the first one in. But I get to stay really involved, and it's just great living in Vienna and building in Vienna.
I tell everyone the biggest negative about living in the DC metro area is the traffic, so you really can't beat an 8-minute commute.
Totally, 100%. It really adds to the quality of life.
So when you're not on site, where is someone most likely to run into you?
Well, my office is on Church Street, so I'm a big fan of the sandwich shop across the street and Cafe de Vienna. Mm-hmm. But if not there, I seem to run into my clients most frequently at one of the grocery stores, Fresh Market, Giant.
The necessity of life.
Yeah, or the inn.
Yeah.
I run into some clients sometimes, breakfast time at the inn. All the usual haunts in Vienna.
Got it.
Right.
Well, is there anything you'd like to add?
Not really. I mean, I think this is a great idea, and I appreciate you taking time to do it and inviting me to be a guest.
Rob, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank
Where
you.
can they find more information or connect with you?
We are at Fisher Custom Homes, VA, like Virginia.com.
Thank you.
Thank you.